Good morning. Approximately 7:48 p.m. on Monday, the 11th day of December 2023, the Bermuda Police Service received several 911 calls reporting a shooting that had happened in the area of Marier, Victoria Road in Devonshire. Police officers who attended the scene found a man who was unresponsive and immediately began CPR until the arrival of other emergency services, where the man was taken to the hospital, and a short while later he was pronounced dead. As a result, a police investigation has begun, and we have made some inquiries into this particular murder, and today we are appealing to the public for your assistance. We do know that the deceased was 53 years of age, and as of December 25th, Christmas Day, he would have celebrated his 54th birthday. He also leaves behind 6 children, and earlier that day, he had been working at a residence where he was installing cabinets, and in fact, he has a nickname of Carpenter. He made his way home, where he stayed for a short while, and as he was about to leave to get on his bike, is when he met this unfortunate death, and he was shot. We do know from our line of inquiry so far that there is in particular a white taxi that is of interest to the investigation, who might have driven past the residence on or about the time that the shooting took place. That taxi, the driver of that taxi, is critical to our lines of inquiry that we speak to you so that we can get some information from you that can assist us. We are also making this appeal today for area residents who live in the area and who, in particular, would have been out and about or seen any movement, any vehicles, whether it's four-wheeled or two-wheeled vehicles. If there's any information that you have, and if you were out at about the time of 7:48 p.m., we would be interested to hear from you. We also know from our lines of inquiry that there has been a vehicle that might be somewhat suspect to those particular area residents who those residents might have observed over the last week or two in that particular area. So if you saw that, if you can identify that type of vehicle, if you can identify the persons who were driving that vehicle, we are particularly interested in speaking with you. We do not believe, based on our initial investigations, that the victim, who we now can announce the name as Steve Parks, was specifically targeted. We do believe that it was a situation of maybe the wrong place at the wrong time. And so today, we are appealing to our members of our community that if you have any information, if you can identify the car, if the white taxi driver can make contact with us, that will be very, very much appreciated, and we can assist in this investigation. There's also a $5,000 reward that is being offered by Crime Stoppers. And so for anyone that has information that may lead to the arrest and also conviction in this matter, we are asking you to make contact with the Crime Stoppers, which is anonymous, on 800-8477. Additionally, this investigation is being headed up by Detective Sergeant Anika Danawa of the Serious Crime Unit, and she also can be reached at 717-2250. As we go into this Christmas period, and as it is a time normally of giving and seasonal cheers, a family today is left mourning the loss of a husband, of a father, and as a member of our community. And so we make this appeal to you today for any assistance that you can give to please make contact with us. And all information will be treated in the strictest of confidence, and we thank you for your support.
Good morning, media and members of the public. I'm Chief Inspector Alexander Rollin of the Community Policing Division. In response to the recent murder of Mr. Parks in the Mary Victoria Road of Devonshire, the Bermuda Police Service will deploy parish officers and other uniformed officers to the area to provide reassurance and engage with residents and nearby businesses. Officers will be conducting foot patrols as well as mobile patrols. Officers will also be deployed to conduct a review in the area to identify if there are any opportunities to utilize crime prevention through environmental design techniques to increase safety in the area. And what we're talking about with that is lighting, trimming of hedges, etc. Bermuda Police Service resources have already been deployed across the island to conduct proactive policing and help minimize potential of any further violent incidents occurring. We continue the public to be encouraged to report any suspicious activity. If they see any persons dressed in dark clothing, riding motorcycles with no license plates or the license plate covered up, to contact the police immediately. Thank you.
Any questions? Please identify your media outlet. Thank you.
Travel into TNN News. With the police headquarters 60 seconds away and no vehicles were utilized on this getaway, what information is coming to police? How are these individuals on foot? How did they move out of that area?
So, Travel, we have not disclosed that there was no vehicles involved. We have a very open line of inquiry, and as you can appreciate, that kind of information from the area residents, if they saw that, is very, very helpful. So we are not reporting that there was no vehicles involved. What we are saying, and what we can definitively say, is that Mr. Parks was shot. The persons who shot him are of paramount importance to the police to identify them and any vehicles that they might have used. So if there's anyone that has information, please make contact.
Do you choose to identify the vehicle that is suspect vehicle that was in the area for about a week? You want to give a color, a make, a name, so others that might have been in the area, the Happy Valley, the Middle Road, anywhere in that area, you don't want to identify that vehicle?
Yeah, so what we'll say that it is a white-colored vehicle.
Do you anticipate any reprisals from this incident?
Well, we would certainly ask for calm in the community, and any persons who may be seeking or thinking about retaliating to remain calm. We're doing our investigations, and we need your support. And the community does not need any further loss of life. So, as Chief Inspector Rollins also indicated, the Bermuda Police Service is taking necessary steps to help to mitigate against that. But again, our appeal is for calm as we continue our investigations.
Oh, thank you. Morning, sir. Jonathan Bell from the Royal Gazette. So, obviously, it's early on. Is the indication so he wasn't? Mr. Parks does not appear in
Vehicle that might have been seen in and around the area previously, so days, maybe a week before the shooting. And that vehicle, anyone who saw that vehicle, that's so important to us. But then we know that there was a white taxi that we do not believe is directly involved in the shooting that was driving by just before, and if that taxi driver can make contact with us, that's important.
And so this was outside Mr. Parks' residence as he was getting out?
Yeah, so the scene would be on Mary Victoria Road, just as you make that right turn onto Mary Victoria from Alexander.
Right over. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Elisa Bernardo from Bermuda Broadcasting News. At this stage, has police been able to recover any evidence from the scene?
So we do have some forensic evidence that has been seized, and we are awaiting the analysis results to be able to assist us.
Understood. And have any neighbors or residents come forward yet with any useful information to assist the investigation?
So we have had conversations with some of the area residents. Yesterday evening, we had officers from our community action team that were actually in the area providing public reassurance and that type of thing. And so we have had some support. But again, the purpose of the appeal today is that particular hour of about 7:48 p.m. when we know that's when we receive the 911 calls, any period of time leading up to that. Anyone who might have been out and about saw vehicles, persons, or anything that was suspicious. That's the kind of information that we're looking for. And again, we will remind the public that there is a $5,000 cash reward from Crime Stoppers for information that may also lead to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons involved.
Okay. And should the island be bracing itself for the likelihood of more gun violence as we head up to the holidays?
Well, we do not have any direct intelligence at this stage to suggest that. And as Chief Inspector Rollins also said earlier, we are putting in place patrols to mitigate against that risk. But again, we would ask the public to remain calm. And where the public has information of potential violence that might be taking place, please contact us. You will recall that over the years, the police service has been successful in seizing firearms, in disrupting antisocial behavior, because the public has called in and they have provided us with information that we can then direct and channel resources to mitigate against that. And this is no different. And so we ask the public on this time, and if you have any information about violence or any retaliatory attacks that might take place, to please make contact with us.
Thank you. And one last question. Is it possible to estimate roughly how many illegal firearms are in the circulation of our community?
So, we cannot put a number on that. We have, as recent as about 2 weeks ago, we seized some firearms, and we reported that in the press. We've recovered, some firearms this year. So there are firearms that are in the community, but this is where we continue to make the appeal that when the community and the police work together, then one, we can resolve crime, we might be able to save lives, and then we can also work together to mitigate the risk of any harm to anyone else. So it is important that the community continue to assist us.
Last question. You've stated Mr. Parks was not the intended target. Can you identify who the target was anticipated for?
So Trevor, at this time we are got a very live and active investigation. And we don't want to go into too many specifics about the investigation, but let us remind the public that the family of Mr. Steve Parks, Carpenter, as he was nicknamed, are mourning. And our focus must be on that, and our focus and our energy must be on working to resolve that so that over this Christmas holiday we can bring some closure to his family.
Are you going to have an extra police presence within certain areas throughout the holiday period?
Yes, Trevor, we're actually going to have a presence island-wide. You will see what I did speak about the increased presence in the, to give some reassurance in the Mary Victoria Road area and the residents in the area as well as businesses, but the increased presence will be island-wide throughout the holidays.
Any intelligence coming in about anything at all?
As Mr. Smith said, the investigation is very focused and very open at the moment. Nothing that we would talk about in this forum.
Yes, sir.